I have never taken drugs, since I am a drug. I don't talk about my hallucinations, I evoke them. Take me, I am the drug. Take me, I am hallucinogenic. These words were spoken by Salvador Dali, and they were printed in the American Art magazine. I first learned about Salvador Dali when I was in high school. I was taking creative art classes, and my teacher happened to notice that a lot of my artwork happened to point more towards the surrealistic side or surrealism. My teacher suggested that I take a book out, or even two, and do a little research on Salvador Dali, and I took her up on this. And I found out that I loved his work, and it completely spoke to me. I'd like to explain a little bit about Dali's early life, as well as acceptance into the surrealism realm, and I'd like to discuss two of his works of art. The first being the persistence of the disintegration of memory, as well as the hallucinogenic torador. First, I will tell you about the man known as the most influential artist of the 20th century. Salvador Dali was born in 1904 in Figueres, Spain. He is the only surviving son of a well-to-do, prosperous Catalan family. Salvador Dali attended a prominent art academy in Madrid, and from his early years as an artist, he exhibited his work widely, did lectures, and also wrote. So you may be wondering, what is surrealism or surrealistic art? According to the book, The Magnificent Salvador Dali, surrealistic art, with its distorted dreamlike images, is intentionally disturbing and illogical. Originally a literary and political movement, surrealism formed in France as a reaction to war and traditional culture which surrealists blamed for devastating Europe after World War I. After witnessing the horrendous consequences of this war, surrealists strove to depict the world from the inside out, from the vantage point of an inner reality, or surreal. For inspiration, they drew heavily on Sigmund Freud's ideas about the subconscious and the significance of dreams. Salvador Dali was a member of the Surrealistic movement from 1929 to 1939. He ended up leaving the Surrealist movement because he was forced out due to his beliefs about the war. So let us go on ahead and move on to his first work of art, which was painted in 1931, which is the disintegration of the persistence of memory. This may look familiar. He also has another work which is similarly titled. And as you can see here, we have a little bit of a background with the mountains, which tends to go back to where Salvador Dali made his home in Port Llobregat, Spain. And you also see the reflection of the mountains in the lake, which ironically also happens to be taken up and pinned up in a tree. And of course, you cannot miss the melting watches, which could mean the disintegration of time or memory. And you also see that the ground is also fractured and broken up in small squares. And in the bottom corner right over in here, as you can see, we also have a watch which has disintegrated right through the ground there. Okay, and a lot of his work is basically open to interpretation of the person who is viewing it. And now we move on to his next work of art, which is the hallucinogenic torador, which was painted between 1969 and 1970. Now this picture, or painting, is twofold. It can be viewed two different ways. And as you can see, we have the statues here. And if you look a little closer, you will actually see the torador in the painting. Okay, now right over in here, you can see the nose of the torador, as well as the mouth and more the face. And if you look a little further down, you can actually see the tie of the toreador right here, as well as the jacket. And again, depending on how you look at the picture, it can be interpreted any way that you want to interpret it. That's the wonderful thing about surrealism, is there is no right way or wrong way to decide on whether or not, what the picture means to you. So, how does surrealism interest you? Well, again, with these two works of art, the disintegration of the persistence of memory and the hallucinogenic toreador, you can view these paintings as well as many other paintings right here in Florida. There is the Dali Museum, which is located in St. Petersburg, Florida, and you can go up there and you can visit and see all of this many wonderful works of art. Thank you.